Hi everyone! Today, I'm going to discuss on how to recognize the equation and the important characteristics of the different types of conic sections. Let's start with the circle. The equation of the circle in general form can be written in this format: ax squared plus ay squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. So when x and y are both squared and the coefficients in them are the same, including the sign, then it is a circle. Let's take a look on our first example. Notice that x squared and y squared have the same coefficients. They are both positive 3. That information is all you need to recognize that you're working with a circle. Let's take another example. Take a look at your x squared and y squared. They are the same coefficient 1 and the same sign positive, so meaning this equation is a circle. Another type of conic section is the parabola. The equation of the parabola in general form can be written in this format: ax squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0 if it opens upward or downward. And the equation by squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0 if it opens to the left or to the right. So when either x or y is squared, but not both, then we are working with a parabola. Let's take the example. So let's take a look on these equations. The equations y equals x squared minus 4 and y or x equals 2y squared minus 3y plus 10 are both parabola. In the first equation, you see an x squared but no y squared. And in the second equation, you see a y squared but no x squared. Nothing else matters. The signs in the coefficient change the appearance of the parabola. If it's open upward or downward, or if it is wide or narrow, but it won't change the fact that it is a parabola. Another type of conic section is an ellipse. The equation of ellipse in general form can be written in this format: ax squared plus bx plus cy squared plus dy plus e equals 0. So when x and y are both squared and the coefficients are positive but not equal, then it is an ellipse. Let's have the first example. The equation 3x squared minus 9x plus 2y squared plus 10y minus 6 equals 0 is an example of ellipse. The coefficients of x squared and y squared are different, but both are positive. Another example. 4x squared plus 25y squared minus 24x plus 100y plus 36 is equal to 0 is an example of ellipse, since x squared and y squared are both positive but not equal in coefficient, 4 and 25. So the fourth and the last type of conic section is the hyperbola. The equation of the parabola in general form can be written in this format: when both x squared and y squared appear and their coefficients have different signs, one is positive and the other one is negative, then we are working with a hyperbola. Let's have our first example. 4y squared minus 10y minus 3x squared equals 12. It is a hyperbola. Like ellipse, the coefficient of x squared and y squared are different. But in hyperbola, exactly one of them is positive and the other is negative. Negative and positive. Another example. Again, if you take a look at your x squared and y squared, they have different coefficients and they have different signs. One is positive and one is negative. So it means that is a hyperbola. So now, let's have some practice exercises. You are given equation in general form, and I want you to identify if it is an ellipse, a hyperbola, a circle, or a parabola. Given the following equations in general form, we have to identify if it is a parabola, a circle, an ellipse, or hyperbola. Number 1, 4x squared plus 9y squared minus 40x plus 36y plus 100 equals 0. Notice that we have an x squared and y squared. They are both positive but different coefficient, meaning this is an ellipse. Number 2, x squared equals 16y. Notice that we don't have y squared. We have x squared. So either x squared appears or y squared appears. It means it's a parabola. Number 3, x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y plus 24 equals 0. Again, we have x squared and y squared here. They are both positive, but the same coefficient, meaning it is a circle. 1, 1, same coefficient. Number 4, 4x squared plus y squared minus 24x plus 24 plus 2y plus 21 equals 0. Again, we have x squared and y squared here, but they have different coefficient. Another one is 4, another one is 1. It is an ellipse, like example number 1. And number 5, 4x squared minus 3y squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 0. We have x squared and y squared here, different coefficient and different signs. Automatic, this is a hyperbola. That's it.